Good morning. I want to welcome everybody to Game Changers Devotional. I'm glad you're here. As I say every week, I don't think anybody shows up here by accident, and I'm excited that we have a lot of opportunities ahead of us this year. And I just want to start out by, there's so much focus right now on the coronavirus. But, when you come down and you realize that there are other things that happen every day that's bad. There's 3,014 people in the world that die every day from tuberculosis. 123 people in the United States commit suicide every day. 128 people died from an opioid overdose. And that's just the name of the few things, that's out there. And so right now there's so much focus on, the coronavirus. Sometimes we forget that there are other bad things out there that are happening, and those are people that we need to be reaching too. And I just want to remind us that in Matthew in the Great Commission, it says this: "Go and make followers of all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Teach them to do all things I've told you, and I'm with you always, even to the end of the world." Now, this is not a suggestion. This is what we're called to do. And, with everything that's going on and the focus right now, there's a lot of people, and I think I said this last week, there's a lot of people that are living in fear. They're absolutely their anxiety is off the hook right now. They're going through a lot they don't know how to handle. And I believe personally that now is the time that those people are open and they're willing to listen to you. Because you can't turn on the news and can't feel better by listening to the news. You go somewhere, most of the time the people talking don't make you feel any better. But we have an opportunity to talk to those people and give them a good news. So I'm going to challenge you on that front. Since that there's an action word there, it says go. I want you to stop being a consumer. And I want you to get out there and start being the salesperson. Don't be the consumer sitting back. Be the salesperson. And then I want us to look at the greatest commandment. In Matthew 22, it says in verse 36, "Teacher, which one is the greatest of the laws?" And Jesus said to them, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest of the laws. The second is like it. You must love your neighbor as you love yourself." Gosh, when you hear that, the big word there is love. This is a time when we need to be loving on people. And I encourage you to reach out to people that, that you work with, the people that you're friends with. Sometimes those people are great at hiding everything that's going on. And so I encourage you to reach out to those people that you're around, and because this is something that I've learned just from dealing in different ministries, dealing with people, that most of the time the people that need help don't reach out. And they don't reach out, number one, because they're thinking a problem will go away by itself, or they may be embarrassed or afraid to ask for help. They may be thinking they can cope with it. Everything's going to be okay. I don't need any help. They may think that no one will understand their problem. On the other hand, they may be thinking things aren't quite bad enough to seek help. And maybe sometimes they're kind of minor, but still they may need help. And if they're worried about it, it's bad enough that they should be able to feel comfortable reaching out to somebody. Sometimes people don't know where to find help. And they don't talk to people, and they don't share what they're going through. And then they think sometimes, help is too expensive or it's too time-consuming. Most companies that are out there have programs that will allow you to get, counseling. If you go to church, I encourage you to reach out to your pastor. Or like I say, there's people in the church that are wise counsel, that can be reached out to. But don't let that be a barrier for you. The benefit of asking for help is it's going to help you feel less stressed. It's going, you're going to feel a lot of relief after you share your thoughts and feelings, about whatever you're going through. And you probably are going to find some strategies or ways that you can cope with what's going on. And it'll help you gain perspective. Look, sometimes I've dealt with stuff and I've called up guys that I trust and I said, man, this is what I'm thinking about. am I thinking of this all wrong? And they look at it from a totally different perspective. And sometimes they don't give me the answer or tell me what I want to hear. But I know that they're not going to mislead me because I trust them. And like I say, that's where it's good to reach out to somebody, because sometimes you're worried about something or you're stressed out about something because you're looking at it from your way and you're emotionally involved in it, and that's not the way it is. It'll reduce your sense of loneliness if you reach out for help a lot of times. And it helps you to build stronger relationships with friends and family. And it prevents your problems from getting bigger. Most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time. And a lot of times you'll realize that you're not alone. Man, I just can't tell you how many times that I've been sitting around talking and, God just gives me the courage to open up about something, and I tell someone, and they say, man, I have dealt with that same thing. I didn't know that. And sometimes it's people that I thought I knew, but I didn't know that they had gone through the same thing. And all of a sudden I realized, hey, this is something everybody else is going through. It's not just something I'm out here alone going through. And when you do that and you realize you're not alone, you open up even more and you can help others. So I challenge you this week to be looking for places that you can go out and that you can love on your neighbor, love on your coworker, love on some people in your church. That's what we're called to do. And I want to remind you right now, with everything that's going on, the devil wants to do three things, and he wants to do this to everybody. If you're a Christian, you're serving God, he's going to be after you. The first thing he wants to do is he wants to isolate you. And, hey, there's not a better example of being isolated than this coronavirus. Well, all this stay-at-home stuff or stay in place, or I think different states have governors and mayors that are calling different things. But we've been isolated. There's a lot of human connection that we don't have. So the devil's wanting to isolate us. And then he wants us to insulate us from everything else that's around us. He wants to, I'm telling you, he was rejoicing in hell when he saw this coronavirus was going to have people not having church. And when he saw that men that meet together and pray together weren't going to be able to meet together and pray together, he loved that because he thought, hey, I've got them insulated from these other people, and that way they're going to move away from God. But in ways, I think it's made people stronger. I think it had the opposite effect. And the last thing the devil always wants to do is he wants to eliminate you. If he can get you to walk away from the things that you're doing, that you're trying to do to live for God every day, then he thinks he's won. So we can't let him do that. So remember, he wants to isolate you, he wants to insulate you, and he wants to eliminate you. In 2 Corinthians 4, I read this verse. It said, we are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Hey, and all this stuff that's going on, I promise you that we're going to come out on the other side. There's going to be some people that lose their life, and unfortunately that's just part of this disease. But I remind you, a lot of people lose their life every day to different things. And but, we're going to pray for those people. We're going to pray for our country. We're going to pray for our states, our cities. We want to make sure that we're in there and we're backing up our country with prayer. And I know each and every one of you are doing that. So anyway, that's sort of what I had today. I'm going to close in prayer, and then I'll open it up for discussion. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day and the opportunity that we have to come and worship you, dear God. And I just pray that this morning that you're not letting anybody get isolated, and from their friends and the people that they may do Bible study with or at church. And I just pray that they're not insulated. They're not insulated from your word. They're not to the point where they're about to get eliminated, dear God. I just pray that they are, that you would give them encouragement, you would bring them back and let them know that you're the only true way for us to make it through this. Dear God, I pray for the workforce that's out there, dear God, the healthcare workers, the first responders, dear God, that are on the front lines. Dear God, they're putting their life in harm's way. But yet they're doing that without being selfish and wanting to stay out of the fight because they've got a family at home. And dear God, I just pray for those, and I pray that you'd have a hedge of protection around them. I pray that you be with those families of those healthcare workers, dear God. Help them have peace and understanding. I pray that you would be with our youth, dear God. I know that right now there are a lot of the youth that just can't figure out why they have to have their wings clipped, dear God, and why they can't do what they normally did. But I pray that you would give them an understanding, be all under any understanding there is. And I pray for our churches, dear God. Man, we've had to reinvent how we have worship. And I just pray that you would give each pastor the courage to do something that's different and to reach the congregation. And I lift those people up to you, dear God. I pray that you be everyone on this call. I pray that you would keep them out of harm's way, and that I just thank you for having them here, and I thank you for the encouragement that each one of these people give me, and the role that they play, dear God. I love them all, and I know that you love them, dear God, and we lift them up to you. These things I ask in your name.